Okay, so we are in the last part. Basically, we have just seen the installation of SUSE Linux. So we are done with that. Our SUSE Linux is up and running with all the connectivity and static IP address assigned. Now it is ready for us to do the installation of HDP 2.5. Okay, so we need to follow this document, and I will put this complete text in the description of the video so that you can just do the copy and paste from there. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is till here we have done everything. We have set up the SUSE 11 with YAST and did all the configuration. Now on the HTTP service, basically we need to go to its directory, and there are files, configuration files called httpd.conf. So we need to open it, and we need to put these lines over there. Basically, by default, what will happen is if there are some symlinks, I mean, we are having certain links of directory that will point to some other directory in the system. So in SUSE Linux, basically that options is generally none. It means that it does not allow you to use some links, I mean some directory links to the other directory in the configuration. And basically, if we are having certain directory that is pointing as a link to the other directories for the configuration, then SUSE will not allow it. So we may need to change this, and we actually need to change this option over here, and then instead of none, we just need to put follow symlinks. It means that if there is a link, then instead of not following it, just follow the link where it is pointing to. Okay, so I am going to change this http-conf file over there, and you just need to search this format access, and here it is. So instead of options none, we just need to change it to symlinks, and just change the order of allow and deny. That's good. And check if allow and deny is in proper order. Okay, allow for all. Okay, this is done. Save it. We do have one more file similar to that, and that is what is called default server conf, sorry. And there also we just need to change the options to from none to follow symlinks. Save it, and you can just restart the Apache server. So it's restarted. Okay, now the other thing is, since our SUSE is now ready to install HDP, we need to copy the complete repository of HDP. So I do have that over here in my system. This is the Ambari repository, this is HDP repository, and this is HDP util repository. So the links to download these repositories are already given in the description of this video. You can copy it from there, unzip the tar.gz and create a folder like this. Okay, so I'm going to put all this repo folder using WinSCP to the root directory of HTTP server. So I'm going to okay, so I need to go to /srv/www/htdocs. Currently I'm here. I'm going to get it from I'm just copying this repo over here. So it is going to get all the RPMs locally available on your HTTP server that we can point for our installation. Okay, so let it copy. It will take around 15-20 minutes. Okay, so my HDP repository with all Ambari and its utils, it get copied. So if I can open this folder, I do have HDP utils, HTTP 2.3 base repo and Ambari repo. So we are good with that. Now what we need to do is basically we need to copy the Ambari repository, okay, into our Zyper repo. So if you open this, so in SUSE basically, the setup of the Ambari is not like, we should not or there is the repo of Ambari basically. Generally we had Ambari.repo in CentOS or Ubuntu or any other flavor, that we just need to copy it to the either yumrepos.d or Ubuntu's repo. Here in Zyper basically or in SUSE, there is no repo that we can copy into zyper.repo. So it's like very automated process they have made. We just need to go into this directory, that is the root directory of our HTTP server, and in that we do have repo, Ambari, SUSE. Okay, so if you go there and try to list the content, basically there is one thing called setup repo.sh. So this is automated script basically that will set up the Ambari repository, and I think it will be available to zyper.repos.d. So let's first go to cd slash etc zyper repos.d. we do LL. Currently we do have only one repository available in our Zyper repo. Okay, so if we run the setup over here, right, that is setup.repo, so it will automatically copy that repo over here in zyper repos.d. Okay, so let me run that. So that's the step we need to do, and it's successfully created. So it has created, if you see, etc zyper repos.d and ambari.repo. So now if you go here again and do LL, basically you will find that ambari.repo also got built. Now if you just get on it and try to see where it is pointing to http master2.cluster.com and here. So this is our host name. Okay, in your case, if whatever you are setting as host name of yours, basically it will pick your host name. You also need to just check if host name is appearing properly. So currently not. If you do fully coit, if it should appear. So I am just trying to make it host name to be master2.cluster.com. Okay, so once do that, we can do a Zyper refresh. Maybe it will just give some repository error. If it will, basically we just need to do some restart of the system, because we have done some configuration changes, and after doing any configuration changes to its base file, basically we must restart our system. But let me just do that. So all repositories have been refreshed, so currently it is okay. But in case if you face any error refreshing the Zyper, just restart your system. Now we need to copy the HDP repo. Okay, so currently that HDP repo, so we had just copied the Ambari repo. Now we just need to copy HDP repo, because we require two things. One, first we need to install Ambari, and then Ambari will point to the HDP repository to install host on HDP 2.5 version. So let me just copy this into etc Zyper repo, and if you go here, you will find HDP repo also. If you get on it, it will tell you that where it is pointing. Okay, so this host name, you should change this host name, because we have just copied it whatever we have got on Windows to our Linux repository. So you may need to change this host name as per whatever you are having for your system. Currently I am having the host name as master2.cluster.com. So whatever host name that you have, you just need to change all those over here in these 4 lines, over here, over here, over here, and over here. Once you do that, you are good. Now once we again need to do the hyper refresh, and everything is good. I found HDP repository and everything. Okay, Ambari also it found. So we are good to start with Ambari installation. Okay, so before that again we need to do a passwordless SSH. So I'm just doing SSH keygen. It will just create a public and private key pair, and we just need to copy the public key into the authorized key folder using this command on master2, say yes, and then provide your password. We are good. Just try to do SSH on master now, and we are good to SSH on it without using the password for root. Okay, that's it. And now we can just do sudo zyper install Ambari server. It will just download it from locally, and it apart from that it will also install lib postgre and PostgreSQL for having the metadata of Ambari. So Ambari server and its respective dependent components like PostgreSQL and PostgreSQL server, they're all being installed, and now we can set it up. So just do sudo service Ambari server setup. I'm not going to customize. I'm just choosing Oracle JDK 1.7 with its cryptography extension policy. So now it is going to be installed. Okay, so JDK 1.7 is installed. It asks us to enter some advanced database configuration. I'm not going to do that. So just enter. So it is going to start PostgreSQL and create some metadata for Ambari over there. And finally, we are done with the setup of Ambari server. We just now need to start it. Say start. Once it is started, we are going to access it on our host name's IP address, and the port would be 8080. So once the Ambari server is started, you just need to verify if it is listening on port 8080. Yes, so it is listening on it. So we can go and now hit our 192.168.56. So this is the IP address of our machine, and we are going to hit its port 8080. So it should present us the login welcome screen of Ambari. So let's log in into that with admin. And again, from here, this point onwards, it's just like the regular setup of HDP, because now it does not matter now where we are running it on, CentOS or where. We just had to use the proper repositories pertaining to SUSE Linux version 11 and its service pack 3. So let's just quickly install our server, HTTP cluster with sudo node, and install only HDFS service, and just that would be more than okay for this. I'm just giving new cluster as the name of this cluster. Do next. Then I'm going to select default version and going to use SUSE 11. So I'm just removing all the other operating systems. Again, we are going to point it to the local repository. Okay, so to pick the local repository, you need to go to etc zyp and repos and try to get on hdp.repo and pick this address. So this is the base URL for HTTP 2.3, sorry, HTTP 2.5, and this is the base URL for utils. This is the base URL for utils. So we just need to provide this to them, provide this to Ambari. Okay, so I'm going to put HDP repository over here and HDP utils repository URL over here. Okay, so I'm not selecting any of this option. So it's user local repository and just say next. Then you need to provide the host name currently we are having here, and we are going to give the private key of our SSH to this. So I need to go to cd.ssh, and this is our private key part. So I'm just say copy over here. We are going to use root as, since we had created the passwordless login for root users, so we are going to use root, and the port of SSH is 22, master.trusted.com. Everything is okay, seems okay. Now register and confirm. So it's registered and success. So once you get everything okay, just do next. Then we are not going to select all of this. I'm going to just do HDFS and zookeeper. Do next. Proceed anyway. Since we do have only one node, so name node, secondary name node, and zookeeper server is going to there, and the data node also will be on the same. I'm going to install HDFS client also on the same machine. I'm not going to customize anything, everything default would be okay. I'm saying next. And now deploy and install. Again, it will take few minutes to get it installed. So the HDFS installation is done, and it's like, let's hit on complete, and we are come up with HDFS and zookeeper. So you can just now do whatever you want to do. Just do -fs -ls, and if you see that your HDFS file system is working. Okay, so there are two directories. So this is about how to install HDP 2.5 on SUSE Linux. Okay, so I made this video just to make aware, to make practice around like how you can do the same thing on SUSE, because I have seen that on most of the videos which shows the installation of Hadoop, any version, maybe Cloudera or Hortonworks, they either choose Ubuntu or CentOS Red Hat version of Linux. Okay, and few of them have chosen SUSE. Okay, and SUSE is very important in terms of, since it is getting heavily used in production deployment of most of the Hadoop versions, Hadoop distributions like either Cloudera or Hortonworks. Okay, so subscribe our channel Byte Big Data, and keep in touch so that you will get notified for more exciting videos like this. And you can go into the comments part of this video to get this complete document and all the commands that you need to follow. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.